access with the armory. And we're going to, as you come in now, there's a tree-lined boulevard, and we're going to reinforce that access as it comes into the armory. We're going to plant some new trees off to the right that's going to kind of screen, but kind of create a campus feel for how these buildings are aligned with the armory. And then when we get to that clearing in the trees, the first thing you're going to see is the visitor center. And we even have very recently shifted that a little closer to the armory, so you have much more visibility. We have the element that sticks up a little bit, probably more of a stone element, and then the brick and signage on the corner of that to really reinforce what that visitor center piece is. We know there's been an ask for some sort of relationship to the arches of the armory. Certainly that main entry has a prominent arch component to it, and some of the windows. We're a little hesitant, and we've tried to talk about this in the past, that we don't want to match exactly the armory, but we want to have hints of it, right? So we think that can be accomplished in major signage. This is just a quick first blush. It's just an idea of how to bring an arch into the design without overpowering the architecture. We certainly want to keep it a simple construction, simple forms. Arches add a little bit of complexity to that, but I think with what we're trying to do, as you know, an arch is a symbol of a gateway, right? And that's kind of what we're already doing with the buildings themselves, is creating a gateway from more of this public side, the brick side of the world. Then, even though it's not an arch form per se, but there is a gateway to the park. Well, I went way too far.
We have too good of a processor on that.
Right, exactly. So we want to have kind of a dichotomous two sides to this facility, right? There's a natural side. You come in from the main formal procession, and then more to the natural side. We're opening up that visitor center to glass, views, light, and then also trying to bring the materiality of the pavilion, which we've been proposing it's a thermally treated wood, low maintenance, very natural feel. Try to bring that also into that natural side of the building. So even though there's not an arch form per se, we think that gateway is really the key component. So you're kind of coming into that gateway piece. You have the option of panning or turning to your right, going into the pavilion, or going to the left into the display area. In some previous renditions, we have some things shown in here. That's a whole nother process that we'll kind of get into in the next few weeks or a month or so, just to try to lay this space out, getting the stakeholders of anyone that might have a display to happen in here, whether it be about the Mounds or Chillicothe or Ross County. There's display areas kind of reserved for that, but we're just trying to form a space that invites that, but also has a clear view to the exterior. I'm going to go back to my images now. It's a little bit easier to navigate. Again, that gateway from the more formal side to the natural side. We're trying to control light as much as we can. It's certainly we love light, but we want to control it from a heat gain standpoint. Kind of control the mechanical costs of that space with all the glass that we're trying to propose.
This is just a good visual representation of kind of where we're at the snapshot in time.
Any questions?
Can you show the overall view of it again?
Sure.
Not that one, but the one before it, the overhead before that shows the roundabouts and the different
Oh, yeah.
streets.
Yeah.
point to where this pavilion is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's specifically not shown in the park. I want this to focus just on the roadway network, since there has been so much, movement with the park and where, buildings are at. We've shifted locations multiple times, so I didn't want to confuse anyone with what's shown park-wise in that, because that exhibit was supposed to be specifically for the road network.
I was just trying to picture how the trucks access.
This is, maybe zero curb line, plaza space, and be able to drive into here, back in, and then come back out the roundabout, or this more turnabout space, cul-de-sac.
And there's parking somewhere for them to park their trucks during the day.
Yeah.
Or they don't come out later that afternoon or evening.
Correct.
So will they be able to access the east side of the furnace pavilion
Mm-hmm.
with the same way?
No.
No?
Not if you were to use a trailer. Use a
Do you remember the breakdown on
The
that?
square footage for the entire Welcome Center is about 6,500 square feet. So probably about, look at 60-40 between office and museum or Welcome Center space. So
60 for museum,
60-40, yeah.
welcome center.
Yeah, museum Welcome Center ratio there.
I mean, the office space side, it really was driven by the program that Melody or National Park Service said they needed it to function directly with that display space. So, and it's pretty, it's got a, so you can kind of see the windows on this side. This kind of space is a small conference room, and then if they need, this was something we discussed early on in programming, if you needed a bigger conference space, that's what to go over to the armory room before.
So is that 60 office and then 40 museum, or was it vice versa?
60 museum.
Okay. Gotcha.
Connected, where you don't just have this commercial style campus right there, I read.